Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger, here to talk a little wrestling for this week. I'm a little bit sick, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little bad. Probably should have made this video yesterday, but it's too late for that now. Alright, so this week, gonna do a little Today in Wrestling History, a classic squash match, 60 Seconds of Sexy, a couple of news stories from the week, talk about the WrestleMania build-up, the fallout from Victory Road, and the build-up to Lockdown. My favorite feud of last year is reigniting. Talk about the concept of TNA having promotions in different countries. I'm going to elaborate a little more on that as I did in the past. Talk about why I like Ring Ka King and why I hope it continues. And a little bit about the Ring Ka King roster. And I got a few questions sent to me by Mr. GS1427, and I will answer those. No Vader time this week. I think this week I am going to start with Today in Wrestling History. Alright, Today in Wrestling History, brought to you by Gerwick.net. Today in Wrestling History for March 24th. March 24th, 1991 was WrestleMania 7, held in Los Angeles, California. Significant about this event was the venue was changed because of reported threats against Sergeant Slaughter over his Iraqi sympathizer gimmick. I remember that gimmick. That was a really good gimmick. Really got him a lot of heat. But some people say it was really because it was lower than expected, lower ticket sales. But you know, you gotta sell it. On this pay-per-view, the Nasty Boys defeated the Hart Foundation to win the WWF Tag Team titles. Jake the Snake Roberts defeated Rick Martel in a blindfold match. Undertaker defeated Superfly Jimmy Snuka. It was what was the first of his now 19-0 WrestleMania streak. The Ultimate Warrior defeated Macho Man Randy Savage in a retirement match. Big Boss Man defeated Mr. Perfect by DQ in an Intercontinental title match. Virgil defeated Ted DiBiase by countout, and Hulk Hogan defeated Sergeant Slaughter to win the WWF title. 1996 was WCW Uncensored, Tupelo, Mississippi. That's my home. Conan defeated Eddie Guerrero to retain the U.S. title. The Booty Man, one of the many awful gimmicks of Ed Leslie, defeated Diamond Dallas Page, which forced Page to leave WCW, but obviously he came back. Sting and Booker T defeated the Road Warriors in a Chicago street fight. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage defeated the Alliance to end Hulkamania in a Doomsday Cage match. Note the Alliance to end Hulkamania: Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Mean Barbarian, Lex Luger, Z Gangsta, which was Juice, Kevin Sullivan, and Ultimate Solution Doomsday Cage match. Let's see here. 1994, Rick Rude defeated Hiroshi Hase to win the WCW International World Title. And 2003, Chief Morley awards the vacant World Tag Team titles to himself and Lance Storm. It's got some birthdays. Christopher Daniels is 41. Barry Horowitz, I'm patting myself on the back there, you can't see it, is 52. Epico is 30. Jack Swagger's turned 30, and The Undertaker is 47. It says also today would have been the birthday of WWE Hall of Famer Gorgeous George. He would have been 97 today if he were still alive. Wow. Gorgeous George. That was like the first big heel. He was the first to do that the flamboyant, the playboy, the look at me, I'm beautiful. He was the precursor to the Ric Flairs and people like of that nature. He was like the first guy that really does that, you know. I watched a documentary about him before. They show old videos, and it was great to see how much heat that guy got. and people just hated it. Anyway, I need to get a drink of water. So while I take a drink of water, how about you guys enjoy 60 seconds of sexy with Kaitlyn.
Rolled up in the club like what? Got the VIP on lock. Then I saw you staring at me. You were responding to my thing. You make me think that you're the one. Licking your lips at me for fun. While the DJ's making them sway. So won't you come step to me if you wanna get down, baby? I do holla at me, baby. Ooh, if you're rolling deep tonight, then I do wanna know you want it. You do wanna get down, baby. It's cool, holla at me, baby. Ooh, if you know it's ridiculous, then I do wanna get close to you. Your ice, you get your sex appeal. Your game so tight, you got me feeling. Wanting you alone with me. That's the illest fantasy. You make me feel like wildin' now. Showing you what it's about. Yeah, got it going on about. Now let me see you work it out on me.
A couple news stories this week. Yokozuna was announced for the WWE Hall of Fame. That's great. He's a very deserving wrestler. Impact Wrestling will begin airing in Poland on April 13th, Friday the 13th actually, on Orange Sport Network. I'm not familiar with that, but if anybody in Poland happens to be listening to this video, and you'll have Impact in a few weeks. Also, an OVW tag team had a dark match at the Impact tapings. OVW tag team Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste reportedly wrestled Gunner and Kid Cash in a dark match at the Impact tapings. I'm not familiar with these two, but I did find a short promo of them, so check it out.
For 10 years, EPW's been putting this little shindig together called Hell or High Water. For 10 years, they've been putting the most violent, most destructive matches they can on the one card. This year is going to be no different because 2011, 10 years in the making, Hell or High Water. Tell them what you got, Shane.
Oh, it's a special event.
Oh, it is.
And just for that, they've got me a very special opponent. All the way from Ramsey Street, Adelaide, they got me TV's very own Rocky Romano.
Dude, you didn't even, you see that I tweeted it to you. I even hashtagged it. You didn't even.
I'm still on MySpace.
Dude, you gotta get on that. It's not what.
It's the guy from TV, and he's got the parents, and the parents keep coming over, and the brother's like, hey, I do the voice for a fish. Well, I got a fish for you, and that fish is my fist, and that's gonna get battered on your face.
Wow.
But I'm not the only person with a special match. No. My man, Mikey Nichols here, he's got a hell of a match. Mike, tell him.
Tyler Jacobs, you think you're hardcore because you swing a couple chairs and you got a couple scars. Well, boy, my blood put this company on the map. So when it's all said and done, son, when it's all done, when it's all over and you see the carnage that I've laid out in front of you, everyone there, and you included, will know that the shotgun is shooting blanks.
Be there.
Peace.
Also, if you watched Impact this week, one of these guys, I don't know which one is which, but one of them was the lawyer, Robert Roode's lawyer that came out that got super kicked by James Storm. One of these guys played that lawyer. You know, it's good to see some of the OVW guys getting a shot. You don't know how this OVW relationship with TNA is going to be working. I try to catch a little OVW when I can, but I don't watch it every week. And it's just not something that sticks in my mind to check out every week, so I forget. I look at the roster, and a lot of the guys on the roster look a little kind of generic to me. So I don't know, I guess they need different gimmicks, you know. Not a whole lot of them look like stars to me, so that's a thing I have on the OVW roster. I do see this team here, this British girl tag team, the Blossom Twins, Hannah and Holly. I checked out a little bit of them. They don't seem too bad. They have this happy-go-lucky look, and I was thinking about them. If you wanted to put them on Impact, you could introduce them as like Doug Williams' nieces as part of their gimmick to introduce them to everybody. You know how Doug Williams always plays this very much, serious wrestler, where their gimmick is like the lucky team. Sorry, I was unplugging a USB. You could get like some good comedy then with him as a straight man and them being like his overly happy-go-lucky nieces. But they wrestle though, of course. I might elaborate more on that. I was actually thinking a lot about the Knockouts tag titles this week, and I don't like seeing ODB and Eric Young with them and wishing they could do more. And I was thinking about possibilities of doing stuff. And I had this idea in my head that I was talking about where all the Knockouts focus more on their titles. Like I said this before in a video, I think I did before, that what I would do to keep to focus on the Knockouts titles and the Knockouts tag titles more is alternate the focus by each month. 1 month the singles title will be defended on pay-per-view and defend the tag titles on TV, and then the alternating month defend the tag titles on pay-per-view and defend the singles title on TV, and just alternate. 1 month we focus on the singles title and more focus on the singles title, little focus on the tag belts. Then the next month put the main focus on the tag belts and a little focus on the singles titles, and alternate, since you don't have enough TV time to really dedicate to both. Because I think it stretches out your feuds. You get more linked out of feuds instead of having you don't have to have a singles title match every month. You just have one every other month. And you don't need a tag title match every month, just every other month, and alternate. So I started thinking about ODB and Eric Young having his titles and what you could do with them. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this. I didn't plan on talking about this at first, but it seems like I'm about to talk about it now anyway. And since this is kind of getting into the realm of fantasy booking, I need to give my disclaimer. I am in no way saying that I can write or book wrestling better than the writers or bookers of any wrestling organization. These opinions are mine and mine alone, and only represent something that I would personally find entertaining. Always gotta give the disclaimer. So, I'm thinking, you know how Spike TV gave TNA that no male on female violence doctrine, right? That's what you use to strip the titles from EY and ODB. You basically have Dixie Carter say, look, we got these very angry calls from the management of Spike TV. They have a no male on female violence rule, and they say there's no way that you two can defend these titles without that eventually happening. And they've threatened to suspend our show for 6 months unless we strip you two of these tag team titles, and we can't have that. We have no show. That means nobody makes any money. We can't sell tickets, no pay-per-views. Everybody's out of a job. We can't have that. So I don't have any choice. I have to strip you two of these titles. Right? So that's how you take the belts off them. And then Dixie Carter basically says to ODB, look, you find yourself a female tag partner, and I'll give you a chance to win these titles back. We're going to have a match to crown new champions. You find yourself a female partner, give you a chance to win them back. ODB's partner would be Mickie James, because I see that Mickie James really isn't doing a whole lot right now, and she needs something different. And a tag team champion, that's like the only major belt she hasn't won is the tag titles. So she could be ODB's new partner. So you got ODB and Mickie James as a team. You have Tara and Tessmacher as a team. You got Sarita and Rosita as a team. You have Winter and Angelina sometimes, but they're not going to be part of what I'm about to talk about. I would actually have them focus more on the singles title for a while. Sorry, I had to get some medicine. It's freezing cold and I don't want to go outside, but I really need to go over to the pharmacy and get me something because I can't be sitting here coughing all day. Anyway, now I was thinking needing one more team. Now I was thinking either a new team or an old school team. Now if I can bring in two veterans to be this team, I want two tough veteran chicks. And I was thinking, I've mentioned this before, I would love to see a tag team of Jackie Moore and Jazz together as a tag team. Or if you want to go with somebody new, you can go look at OVW and see who you got on the OVW roster. The OVW roster is pretty slim as far as it comes to women. So you got these Blossom Twins as a possibility. You got Josette Bynum who used to be a Sojo Bolt. She was there before. You got this girl Taylor Hendricks, who is the OVW Women's Champion. But as I look at the OVW roster, which I'm looking at right now, you don't see many women. There's a girl named Epiphany, and I see a CJ Lane. I'm not familiar with them and what they do. You can always put together a new tag team, but I want a badass tag team though. That's why I like these two veterans in Jackie and Jazz. So first you do a match to crown new champions. You would have hang on, went blank for a second. A number one contenders match where Angelina and Winter would win it. They're going to do this part of the tag team temporarily. Then I'm going to move them out of the tag team stuff. And then they would face ODB and Mickie James, who ODB is picking their partner. ODB and Mickie win, so they're now the tag team champions. Alright, you rectify that. So then, that's when I would introduce Jackie and Jazz. They get in ODB's, Mickey's faces. You know, Jackie talks about ODB. We were supposed to come do this thing together, but you ditched me. I got me a better partner than you now. Them two teams get into it. They go to fight. You let them do that for a week or two. Then the next team I introduce into this would be Sarita and Rosita, Mexican America. They come out. They start talking smack. They get in Jackie and Jazz's faces. And you know, they start throwing hands, throwing blows at them. The two heel teams are fighting. Miggy and ODB get into it. All three teams, they're going at it fighting. So I got two heel teams, one face team. I want to introduce one more face team to this mix. About a week later, we introduced Tara and Tessmark. I would revamp them though. You know, they always come out in on their motorcycle, so I would have them come in street clothes, but make them look tougher. They're like jeans, leather jackets. They got like their head rags on. They kind of have a more of a biker look to them, like, you know, badass biker broads. You know, you can see biker chicks, man. They always look like tough, tattoos and shit. They don't have to have tattoos and all, but you get into them, then they get involved in it, saying, you know, there's gonna be a fight over the tag team titles. We want to be in this fight too. They start throwing hands at people. You got all four teams. They beating each other down, and you just have those four tag teams focus on the tag titles and different combinations. Excuse me. Different combinations of those four tag teams can get you plenty of matches. You can do singles matches with either one of them, and then you get a couple of different tag matches, triple threat tags, four-way tags, and let them throw a few gimmick matches in there. So if you got ODB and Mickie as the champions, one month they could take on Tara and Tessmarker, another month they go against Sarita and Rosita. You know, then maybe another month they have a number one contenders match with Jazz and Jackie against Sarita and Rosita going for a title shot. You can just mix and match. You mix and match between them as much as you can. And I could probably get and since, like I'm saying, I'd be alternating, only doing tag title matches every other month on pay-per-view, and then just a short tag team match on TV alternating, maybe not a title match or so. Or you could, though, just announce a new rule that the knockouts, singles, and knockouts tag titles only have to be defended every 60 days instead of every 30 days. That'd be an easier way to do it, to explain why we're stalling for time. But, so that would be my four tag teams. But that's if I want to go to a veteran team, it's the four team. If you want to go with a fresh face team, you got to find somebody who can pull off the look of like a badass chick team. Like Alyssa Flash has a look of a badass to me. I always feel like if you put her, like you picture her in a pair of jeans and like a leather jacket and like her hair pulled back, she could pull off that look of a badass and get in there and beat people down. But you need a partner for her who can fill the badass role. Whenever I think about that, I either think of somebody like Roxy, but Roxy's not doing as much wrestling now as I heard. You know, I don't see a lot of, maybe somebody from the OVW roster might be able to pull it off. You got this OVW Women's Champion Taylor Hendricks, but she doesn't really have the badass look to her. I don't know. Who's a woman you know that can pull off the look of a badass? Maybe it may have to be somebody new that they bring in that I'm not thinking about. You know, usually when you think about a woman being a badass, I think of somebody like Sarah Del Rey, but I don't think she would come to TNA. You know, she never had anything positive. She didn't say anything. I never heard her say anything positive about TNA, and I always heard her say that her goal is to go into WWE. So I guess that's out. But you know, you don't really know. Maybe if they offered her something good, she would say, "All right, let's do this." But you need that team to be heels, be tough looking, be ass kickers. Alyssa Flash, I say, because you know she's working with TNA as part of Ring Ka King and stuff. Hopefully she does more with that. And I don't know. Give me suggestions. Who you know of a good female wrestler that could be a tag team partner for Alyssa Flash? Again, I'm thinking I want tough looking ass kickers. Women who look like they can just whoop a lot of ass. Somebody you could put with Alyssa. Think a girl in like jeans and a leather jacket or just looking badass. I don't know who it would be though. But you work those 4 teams, you do tag title matches every other month. I should be able to get a good couple of months out, a good 4 or 5, maybe 6 months out of this. It shouldn't be that hard. I don't think so. I don't think it would be though, if you just alternate. Anyway, but plus you also can use Explosion to do a few matches. And eventually ease in another team as you can. Like I said, you probably could still ease in this Bossum twin team to be not as brutal. But if you want to change their gimmick, you can do that too. Like I was saying, you could introduce them easily as saying it's like nieces of Doug Williams, right? You lie about their age, make them seem a little younger than they are. And they can be like, no-nonsense British wrestlers like he is. They don't have to have their happy-go-lucky gimmick like they have in OVW, so... That's just a thought I was thinking of. Let's see, what else? I'm gonna get a drink of water, and you guys check out a classic squash match: Ahmed Johnson versus Gary Scott.
On his way to the square circle, Van Far undefeated here in the World Wrestling Federation. He is all business, and he is a powerhouse. We're talking one Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson recently, JR, received quite a prestigious award, did he not? He certainly did 2 weeks ago in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland Mayor Michael White presented Ahmed Johnson an anti-violence award, as Ahmed is very involved in the communities around the United States. Yes, indeed, very proud to be a part of the neighborhood as Ahmed Johnson peers over and takes a good look at Scott. Unusual hairdo on Gary Scott. No doubt about it. I don't know where he comes up with a hairdo like that, McMahon. Look at my long... Whoa! Look at this. Scott right away taking on that Johnson. Trips the jaw several times. Gary Scott. Oh, he caught his hand. He certainly did. Ahmed Scott now with his left hand. Ahmed with a hard right hand and another one. Ahmed pummeling Gary Scott. And Scott bend over double. Look out. Went off the rope and... No! What would you call that, Mr. Barber? I call it a down kick, I guess. A down kick, huh? Well, I'd call it successful. What'd you call it, JR? I would call it effective. Take another look at it. Oh! And that's likely to crack your back and make your liver quiver. And yeah, Ahmed Johnson uses his power to his advantage. And well, he has to use his power. He's got a lack of brains, so he has to use that right. Yeah, well, at least that hairdo on Gary Scott's not intimidating. He had a freak lawnmower accident with that hairdo. Or maybe there's another explanation for the hairdo. I think his flow bee was in the heel setting. In any event, right now, look out, here it comes. Here comes the Pearl River Plunge. Ahmed in control to cover the count and the victory. Very impressive victory for Ahmed Johnson.
Boy, Ahmed made quick work of him, didn't he? That was less than 2 minutes, including the entrance. The art of the squash match has just been lost. Hope somebody brings it back one day. Talk a little WrestleMania. Only about 2 weeks left. No, maybe 1 week left. Wait a minute. WrestleMania is April 1st. Today's the 25th. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. This is it. We are the very last stretch of the on the road to WrestleMania. It is just about to be done. Not much on the Rock Cena front this week. Cena had a match. Rock talked smack. Rock bottom Mark Henry. Rock still hasn't brought me back to his side. I gotta say, I didn't think it would be this way, but I am still firmly on Team Cena for this one. I'll be rooting for John Cena at WrestleMania. Had a little talk of Undertaker and Triple H. Not a whole lot left to say about this match. It'll be fun. Punk and Jericho. Jericho's basically trying to say that the reason Punk's straight is because his family are alcoholics and drug addicts. It adds a little intrigue. I don't think this match really needed it. Just the whole who's best seemed to be enough working for people. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. The match I keep forgetting about. Cody Rhodes embarrassed Big Show again on Raw. I'm still expecting Cody to win, but I could see, I listened to one radio show this week. I can't remember which one it was, but somebody saying maybe it'd be like Big Show beats Cody Rhodes and keeps beating on him after the match, and it ends up where Big Show destroys Cody Rhodes, but because he keeps beating on him, the ref reverses the decision, so Cody keeps the title. Orton and Kane, not a lot I want to say about it. They didn't really do a whole lot about the Divas tag match. The fact that the celebrity wrestles better than her tag team partner and one of the women on the other team is still kind of weird. I really do think Maria Menounos can work better than Kelly Kelly and Eve Torres. I think she's going to do better than both of them at WrestleMania. GM versus GM. So as of right now, our teams for Teddy Long's team: Santino, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, Zack Ryder, Great Khali, and one more person. Laurinaitis' team: David Otunga, Mark Henry, Christian, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, and one more. Some people have suggested this, and I can see this happening, that maybe all this stuff about The Miz not having a match is a setup by Laurinaitis. That Laurinaitis and The Miz are in it together. They're he's purposefully keeping Miz off WrestleMania so that The Miz will join Teddy's team, and that in the match The Miz will screw over Teddy's team so that John Laurinaitis wins. That it's a setup that The Miz is going to screw him over. So we're still at, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 matches. Not a whole lot happened about as far as WrestleMania this week, but I'm still looking forward to seeing the show. Victory Road Fallout, lockdown build up. I'm still expecting Bully Ray against Devon for the TV title at Lockdown. I talked about this in my Victory Road results video. And I was thinking about it again yesterday. I could see basically, Bully Ray came out in Impact this week and beat up the X Division guys, and I can see him do some more stuff this week. And Devon just comes out and says something to the effect of, it's about time somebody shuts you up. I've been distracted with some other things this year, but I still haven't forgotten what you did to me. I'm still haven't forgotten how you betrayed me, how you threw 20 years of brotherhood down the drain, and I've been wanting to pay you back for a while, and, there's no better place to do it than a lockdown in a cage where you can't run away. And, Devon challenges him, and, Bubba Ray goes, all right, I'll face you if that title's on the line. If that TV title's on the line, you want me so bad, put the title on the line, and then, I'll face you at Lockdown. And Bully Ray would end up winning, though. There was a really, really good video package. It was about a 2-3 minute video package on Impact this week about James Storm and Robert Roode. I thought was really well done. They talked about pretty much their whole career in TNA and everything they've been doing, everything they've done. I'm not gonna put it in this video because it's really long. I try to keep the stuff I put in this video kind of short though. I think it might have been like a good 4 minutes long. It felt long when I watched it, but it was really good. So if you haven't seen it, try to find it on YouTube and check it out and watch it. Not sure else what they planning for Lockdown. Probably have a lethal Lockdown match. Maybe some people speculate there may not be a lethal Lockdown match this year because of some of the other matches. Like I don't want to give spoilers, but I have read some of the spoilers about other possible matches. I would like to have. I say let the Knockouts have lethal Lockdown this year. If you don't have one set up for the guys, let the Knockouts do it. 3 easy teams. How about? Let's see here. Velvet, Mickey, Tara, and ODB. No. Wait, let's try this again. Mickey, ODB, Tara, and Tessmacher against Winter, Angelina, Sarita, Rosita. There you go. That's 2 lethal Lockdown teams right there. And you don't have to build it up. You can just say we want to have the first Knockouts lethal Lockdown, and Velvet's the captain of one team, and say Angelina's the captain of the other team. There you go. And they can just do their matches, put their teams together. That could be lethal Lockdown. Then you just I said Velvet, sorry, not Velvet. Mickey's the captain of one team, and say Angelina's captain of the other. That could work, and they have their teams together. And then you could do a women's title match of maybe like Gail Kim and Velvet Sky. I think a lot of people have been wanting to see that rematch for a while. But we'll talk more about the build-up to Lockdown next week after we see more of what happens. I've read spoilers, but I don't want to just get into spoiler stuff. Okay. What was probably my favorite feud of last year is about to reignite. And that is Adam Pearce versus Colt Cabana. Now I don't do the NWA Hollywood reviews anymore just because I've gotten out of doing reviews of anything at all. But I still watch every week. One thing sad about NWA Hollywood, all my favorite tag teams in NWA Hollywood have broken up. Young Hollywood broke up, Rock Nest Monsters broke up, Natural Selection broke up. Like, dang. Anyway, though. Colt Cabana, Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce came back as a face a few months back. Him and Colt Cabana ended up, forming a bond, but that bond was broken if you saw the episode last week when Pearce turned on Colt Cabana again. Beat him down, sided with the Family Stone. After a really great street fight. I uploaded the match too, so check through my videos and you'll have the matches uploaded there. The street fight and the heel turn is on there. I really loved this feud last year. Colt Cabana build up to getting a shot at Adam Pearce was so good. Him getting a title shot and being cheated out of it. Then them having their street fight where Adam Pearce pile drives him through the table and puts him in the hospital. Him fighting back, winning the battle royal to on his comeback to get another shot at Pearce. then finally building up to their big match again. You know, him and his friends taking out the standard so he could get Pearce one-on-one. It was just everything about that feud I liked when I watched it last year, and I hope it's as good this time as it was last time. I just hope that this time, if Colt Cabana beats Adam Pearce for the title, they don't have him lose it on an untelevised show to somebody that I don't even know of. I don't know why that happened, but it was a great feud. It was a really great baby face that everybody could get behind. A really great heel that people just draws heat. Like, Adam Pearce is just fantastic at drawing heat. The story was great. Pearce's promos were fantastic. I got some of that saved. I'm gonna check out some of that stuff later because I got a couple of videos of that saved from last year. The matches were fun, especially their world title match from last year. That's on my channel. Look it up on my channel and watch it. It was a fantastic match. It was great. The match was great. It was really fantastic storytelling. It was that classic story of a hero overcoming all the odds to defeat the villain and right all the wrongs. Everything about that feud was fantastic, and I hope they can do it. If they could make it as good this time as it was last time, I think it's going to be very good to watch. I personally am looking very much looking forward to seeing how this feud progresses this time and comparing it to how it was last time. Last time it was great. I hope that this time they make it even better. All right, possibility talking about TNA maybe having promotion in different countries. I read this article on tnasylum.com. I put the link to it in the preview video, so you can go check it out there. It was by a guy named Eric Can't Dance. He talked about in his video the territory system. He talked about TNA and their, having their show on Spike, Impact on Spike, and Ring Ka King on in India on Colors, and their relationship with AAA in Mexico, and they still have a bit of a relationship with New Japan, but that's kind of up in the air because apparently a couple months ago there's like new management that took over New Japan, so I don't know if New Japan and TNA are going to have a relationship in the future. I hope so. But this article talks about that concept, and they just be like a parent company, an umbrella company, and OVW's part of it too, where instead of having territories around the country like the NWA does, they would just have different promotions running in different countries, small promotions. Imagine TNA being in charge of a series of small promotions all around the world, like something like Ring Ka King, but they have something like that in other countries too. Whereas in Mexico they have their relationship with AAA. In India they have Ring Ka King, hoping it continues. Because an interesting thing, I listened to an interview with Chris Masters about 2 weeks ago where he says that as of right now there isn't any schedules to film more Ring Ka King. Yet I hope it continues because everything I've read has said has been pretty successful. So they haven't run out of episodes yet. So my guess is they're gonna go back and film another set of episodes when the ones that are currently filming stopping. I mean, they filmed a lot of episodes too, because each episode is about an hour, and I just downloaded one of this week's episodes. 2 episodes a week, and I'm gonna watch it after I finish this video. So March 24th is episode 17. So when I finish making this video, I'm gonna watch episode 17 of Ring Ka King. So I imagine 18 should be tomorrow. I'm not sure how many episodes they filmed though. What was I about to say? I lost my spot there. And I mentioned this in another video a while back, but ways they could expand into other countries. And I was talking about Korea, where I live now, and there's not a whole lot of wrestling in Korea. There are a couple promotions, small promotions in Korea, but not like I've seen videos and stuff. It's nothing super huge. There is a promotion called WWA that runs shows. Last show I remember them one, they did one in like November of 2011. I'm not familiar with their schedule, but I've seen the little bits of it, so. But it didn't seem like the crowd's that big, though, so I don't know how it's promoted here in Korea. It's not something I come across much. Of course, I don't watch Korean television, so I really can't tell you. All it's, because I don't speak Korean, so most of my TV watching, I just watch stuff online. All the stuff I like to watch, I just find it on the internet and watch. So, like, I haven't actually turned on a TV in months. I know WWE airs here, but it's like a month or so behind. I've heard that TNA airs in Korea, but I've never been able to find it. I don't think it does. But taking the concept of Ring Ka King, filming in that country, and having wrestlers from that country, I think that's something that could work. Because there is a market for wrestling in Korea. Kids do watch WWE here, and they like it. They know who guys are. So if you did train, I think the concept that worked with Ring Ka King would work here. Because if you live outside of America, what you might know is that nationalism in other countries is a whole lot stronger. People really get behind people from their country. I always talk about this, that this is why WWE keeps the Great Khali around. Just having him on their roster opens up to an entire market in India and more money, and they love him in India. He's considered one of the biggest stars in the country. And the same would work here in Korea. Like they're one of the biggest, most popular athletes in Korea is a figure skater named Kim Yuna, and Koreans just go nuts over her in things like the Olympics and any type of international figure skating competitions. They show huge support for her just because she's Korean. And if you had Korean wrestlers and you had a show in Korea, I think it could do very well if properly promoted. Now, the thing with Ring Ka King, you gotta remember, is that the reason TNA was able to do this is because they're not really footing the bill. Endemol is paying for pretty much everything going on, so you would need somebody in Korea that's willing to put money behind it. That's the problem. As with everything, money is the key. Now, Endemol is an international television production company. The company is based in the Netherlands. They have subsidiaries in other countries. They have companies in UK, US, France, Mexico, Spain, Italy, Germany, Brazil, Chile, Argentina, Dominican Republic, Poland, Portugal, Russia, India, South Africa, Lebanon, Morocco, the Philippines, Belgium, Turkey, and Australia. That's all the countries where Endemol has companies, production companies, TV companies. So you need another company that's interested in producing a wrestling show. Now, I don't know what company in Korea might do it. I would look at some of the bigger companies like Samsung or something like that, but it's hard to say who in Korea would do that. Samsung's a big company here in Korea. They run they do a lot of different stuff here. They're involved in a lot of stuff here in Korea. It's hard to say what company in Korea would do that. I'm not familiar with just companies in Korea that focus just on entertainment, except for like Showbox, but they just do movies though. To the best of my knowledge, all I know about them is movies that they've done. So now you got the possibility of Endemol doing Ring Ka King and seeing it as a success. So maybe they would want to do stuff in another country. So you have the India section of Endemol, and they look at Ring Ka King and they figure, yeah, we think it's a success, so we want to try this in another country. And you figured they would pick TNA to do it, since TNA does Ring Ka King and that was a success. They would see about doing it in other countries. So looking at their possibilities, you got the UK. TNA is super huge in the UK. So if they want to do a UK promotion, you think a UK promotion that TNA does would be very successful. France, you got Italy, Germany, Brazil, Chile, Argentina. Maybe South Africa is a possibility. Australia. Because if TNA was doing them, I'd watch them all. You know, that's something I want to think about. So I really can't say who would do something like that in Korea. But if Ring Ka King is considered a success, then I imagine in the mall, if they feel like it's making them a significant profit, would want to try it again in another country. Use the same model in another country and say, hey, TNA, how about we do this again? We want to do the same concept, but now instead, this time we want to do it in the United Kingdom. See how that works. And if it's successful in the UK, let's say we try it in Australia this time. You know, wrestlers from that country, you throw in a few American wrestlers, let TNA run it, mix it up. I think you got something good that could go on here. You'd have to hire people to and if you do it like you do at Ring Ka King, where you do a big slate of tapings and air them, and then come back, do another big slate of tapings and air them, they could just do it in different countries. You could have the same writing team and wrestlers do it repeatedly. I mean, you could probably use the same group of American wrestlers and just say, let's find a few wrestlers in this country. Damn, gotta go to the pharmacy. I can feel myself getting sicker. But I like that concept of instead, because that would do something great for TNA, just being this international umbrella company where they have all these territories that operate under their banner. And just imagine what it would do for the World X Cup. Because if you have teams that are popular in different countries, it's like the World X Cup could be huge because you'd have fans from all those countries cheering on their team. So you did the World X Cup, you had a team TNA, and then you have some guys from India's team Ring Ka King, and maybe some UK guys, some Mexican guys. It would probably end up being a very good show that a lot of people would like to see. I think this would be much more successful for TNA to doing something like this rather than them trying to, you know, compete with WWE again. They don't have to be. They could be this big multinational global company. But give me your thoughts on that. And if any of you listening to this video are from another country outside the US, tell me what wrestling is like in your country, and could you get into something like this being in your country? Something like Ring Ka King, but a version of that for your country with wrestlers from your country. Tell me if that's something you get into. Speaking of Ring Ka King, what I like about Ring Ka King is that it's kept simple. 2 belts. 1 hour, 2 days a week. You got 2 belts, a world title and tag team titles. It's kept very simple. I can see if they have more women come in, they might have a women's title. I don't know. But I really enjoy watching it every week. And I'm looking over the roster. Looking at like the Hindu wrestlers. Especially like Max B and Ma Bali Vera. Jawala very much too. And I was thinking eventually, you know, they're gonna put the belt on one of the Hindu wrestlers, and I was thinking which one it would be, and I think it would be Ma Bali Vera. He seems to be like the baby face that they seem to focus on more as far as the Hindu wrestlers go. I'm actually looking forward to his match with Chris Masters, American Adonis. He seems like to me right now to be the guy they're gonna build up to be the first Indian wrestler to hold that world title. I think as far as the tag titles go, it'll probably be the Bollywood boys. Let me check my time. I'm at 46 minutes. I better go ahead and wrap up. What else I want to talk about? Maybe I'll talk more about Ring Kaki in another video. Let me go ahead and wrap this video up and do some questions here. Got 3 questions here from Mr. GS1427. These were Tap Out Wrestling News questions of the week. First question he sent me says, do you think A-Train is going to return to WWE? Well, obviously we know it now. We saw the promo for this Lord Tensai on Raw this week. That's clearly him. So, seems pretty clear. Says, Nelson Frazier, a.k.a. Big Daddy V, a.k.a. Viscera, a.k.a. King Mabel, says he would like to return to WWE. Would you re-sign him? For what reason? I like Beast. I always like a good Beast. Sign him right now. I don't really know what you could do with him right now, though. He's a ring veteran. There's guys he could help get over. If you had a new, let me think, who's new that you want to get over? Because I would just use him to get some of the newer guys over right now. Somebody like Sheamus. Him and Sheamus would probably have a couple good matches together. I can't say I would personally resign him, but I would like to see him. Just because he was a guy I watched a lot as a kid, so I got good memories of him. As King Mabel, as Viscera, Big Daddy V. He's always fun to see. So if he shows up, I'd be glad to see him a little bit more times. Not opposed to it, but I can't really think of anything great I would do with him, except have a match with Sheamus. Third question was interesting too. He says, do you consider John Cena legendary? Do I consider John Cena to be a legend? Not yet, for one simple reason. I think part of being considered a legend is longevity. And I think there's a certain length of time you need to be in the business before you can be called a legend. I think, if you haven't been in the business for I think you need to be a wrestler for at least 20 years before people can call you a legend. But when John Cena hits the 20-year mark, I'll call him legend. I think he's clearly a Hall of Fame worthy wrestler. He's done it all, and he's been the top guy, the top star in the business. He's the Hogan, the Austin of his generation. More closely to the Hogan of his generation, because he's more like Hogan. I think he's done all the accomplishments you would need to be considered a legend. For me, the reason I say John Cena is a legend, I think he hasn't been in the business long enough. I think just this year would make his 10th year in WWE. I believe he debuted in 2002. So this will be 10 years. John Cena hits maybe the 15, 20 year mark. Maybe 15 would be enough. But 10 years isn't enough for me to call you a legend. So when he's closer to 15, 20 years, that's when I'll consider John Cena a legend. Alright, I felt myself getting sicker as I done this video, so I better finish up now. Mr. GS1427, thanks for sending me the question. Oh crap, I gotta go. Alright. I feel myself getting sicker. I think I'm about to puke because I'm so sick. I gotta go get some medicine. So sorry, I'm just gotta cut this video off right now. This is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. If you like my videos, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at TJSMITH3. Have a nice day.